Hi friends, welcome to Keto with Libby. I am Libby and today we are going to be making keto spaghetti with homemade meatballs. Let's get started. Now before we jump into this recipe, I do want to say you can make this dinner even easier by buying pre-made meatballs in the freezer section. Every single one I found though had about 1 gram of carb per meatball, and that just seemed a little bit too high for me since I like to have 5 or 6 meatballs per serving. So we will be making homemade meatballs, but you guys, this recipe is also super simple. You can prep it for the week on like a Sunday night or something like that. All the dinners that I make for you guys, I literally make right after I get off of work, just like tonight. So I like them to be quick, not involved, and super yummy. So that's just kind of a disclaimer. Now let's jump into the recipe. Okay, so I have 1 pound of ground beef here, and to that I'm going to add 1 egg for a binder. And then I'm gonna eyeball about 1/2 cup of mozzarella. That'll work. Next, you're gonna wanna add in some grated Parmesan. These are gonna kind of act as our breadcrumbs for this. So we are going to add in our seasonings and then we will get this all nice and mixed together. If it seems too wet, that's when we add in more of the Parmesan. So I'm going to add onion powder. Hefty amount, garlic powder. If I didn't forget to buy it, I would have already added it, but Italian seasoning, and then pepper and some salt. I usually always have Italian seasoning on hand, but I just didn't today. So we work with what we got. So now let's get our hands nice and dirty and just start mixing this bad boy. Okay, so this is a little too wet for me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in some more grated Parmesan. Make sure you save enough for serving it. If your family is anything like mine, they go crazy for it. Okay, perfect. So it just felt a little too wet for my liking. So we are ready to start rolling out our meatballs. I have my oven preheating to 375 right now, and this should make about 18 little meatballs. See you in a second. All right guys, here are our finished rolled out meatballs. I did end up getting 18 of them in total. So these are gonna go into our 375-degree oven for about 10 minutes, and I might flip them halfway through. So while our meatballs are in the oven, we're gonna take advantage of this time because remember, this is a nice, quick, easy recipe. We are gonna start on our zoodles, okay? I use frozen zoodles, all right? I do sometimes make my own, but this was just the easiest for me to pick up right after work, so this is what we're using. So sorry about those vents. It is windy as heck outside, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. We'll just try to ignore them. So I'm gonna throw these into the microwave per package instructions for about 6 minutes, but I do wanna show you guys a trick how to make these not so watery. So stick around. These are going in the microwave. So for the pasta sauce we are going to be using today, we're using the Great Value Organic brand, and it's the Parmesan Romano, okay? This has 5 net carbs per 1/2 cup, which is completely comparable to Rayo's, and a little less actually. Some of Rayo's has about 6 to 7 per 1/2 cup. But the reason I get this is because it is literally $1.98, okay? So cheap. Rayo's is usually upwards of $5 to $6. Cut corners while you can, or where you can, so you can stay on track, okay? So this is the sauce we'll be using. Once our meatballs are done and they've been out for a few minutes, then I'll heat this up on the stove just because you don't want to overheat it and then have to turn it off and then reheat it. All right, you guys, this is about halfway through for the meatballs. I'm pretty sure I misspoke earlier and said they were gonna only be in for 10 minutes. I meant to say we're going to flip them at 10 minutes. I used 80-20 ground beef. So mine are going to be a little bit more greasy, which I don't mind because it's the cheapest beef. These will probably go in for another at least 7 minutes. They're looking pretty cooked though. Alright guys, these are going back in. Okay guys, here's a little trick to do with zoodles. I just steamed these in the microwave per those package instructions, and now I just put them into a pan to let all of that water cook out so that you get a more tender noodle instead of watery, because sometimes they can be watery, especially the frozen ones. Alright guys, these have been in here doing their thing. I'm adding a tablespoon of butter, letting that melt, and then these are done. Alright guys, our zoodles are done. They're over here chilling. I just added literally all of the sauce into this pan to get it to warm up. And then I'm about to take the meatballs out. And then dinner will basically be served. All right, you guys, it is dinner time, and let's taste this real quick so that I can go eat. We have our meatballs, perfectly cooked through. As I said before, you can finish them off or even start them in a pan to get that crust on them. Honestly, ain't nobody got time for that in the weeknight. Like, these are cooked, they're delicious. I'm just gonna leave them that way. So let me get a bite of the meatball with everything. That's delicious. That is so good. It's so simple. The seasonings we used in the meatballs come through. You guys, this recipe is so easy. It's so good, and it really helps you stay on track for those busy weeknight meals. It's a weeknight for me. It's a Thursday night. I got off of work and came home and made this. So if these meals are something that you're interested in and you would like to see more, please like and subscribe. I put up new videos every week. I am also on my keto journey, so if you'd like to follow me there to see if you and I have the same struggles or same successes. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please give this a try. It is easy. It satisfies those Italian cravings that we all get, especially since I know how much we all miss pasta. So thank you guys again so much, and we'll be seeing you real soon. Bye. I was standing here thinking, I'm almost 100% sure I wore this shirt in my last cooking video.